I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. Honestly, in your own heart of hearts, do you believe the government? Has the government done anything to cause you to believe them? This is a post by Pete Hegseth, and he says earlier this morning on President Trump's orders, this is a couple days ago, I directed a lethal kinetic strike on a narco trafficking vessel affiliated with designated terrorist organizations in the U.S. Southcom area of responsibility. And then he says 4 male narco terrorists aboard the vessel were killed in the strike. And then he says no U.S. forces were harmed in the operation. The strike was conducted in international waters just off the coast of Venezuela, while the vessel was transporting substantial amounts of narcotics. How do we know they were narco traffickers? How do we know that there were substantial amounts of narcotics aboard that vessel? And he says, headed to America to poison our people. We are the government. We are here to help. And we blew these people out of the water because they were going to harm a bunch of Americans. And we believe this? It says our intelligence, without a doubt, confirmed that this vessel was trafficking narcotics. The people aboard were narco terrorists, and they were operating on a known narco trafficking transit route. These strikes will continue until the attacks on the American people are over. And Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, a boat loaded with enough drugs to kill 25 to 50,000 people was stopped early this morning off the coast of Venezuela from entering American territory. So, do you believe the government? Is it a possibility that these weren't even narco traffickers? Is it a possibility that there weren't even drugs aboard and that no American would be harmed? And even if this was a boat filled with narcotics, why is Pfizer, Moderna, CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart allowed to push their drugs, which kill plenty of Americans every year? Last count, 72,000 a year. Why are they allowed to narco traffic, but the Venezuelans can't narco traffic? Don't steal, don't traffic in drugs because the government hates competition. In other news, the National Fraternal Order of Police condemns Chicago police commanders for prohibiting rank-and-file officers from aiding ICE agents surrounded by protesters. And they say, quote, when an officer calls for assistance, you answer no matter what. You just follow orders. That's all we want are order followers. Do what you're told regardless of what is right. Is ICE on your side? Is the FOP on your side? When was the last time you got terrorized by a narco trafficker? When was the last time you were harassed and detained and economically terrorized by an illegal alien? When was the last time an illegal alien threw you into a cage when you were perfectly innocent? It says National FOP and Illinois State FOP condemns reports that Chicago police officers were barred from assisting ICE agents. This guy, Patrick Yoes, national president for the FOP, and Chris Southwood, says details are still emerging, but it appears that officers from the Chicago Police Department were ordered not to assist a group of ICE agents while they were physically threatened by what appeared to be an angry mob. Let me be clear. Both the National FOP and the Illinois FOP believe that when an officer calls for assistance, you answer no matter what. The Trust Act is an Illinois state law that generally prohibits local law enforcement agencies in Illinois from participating in immigration enforcement. According to the Department of Homeland Security, ICE agents have faced a 1,000% increase in violence since the start of the year. I wonder why. It wouldn't be because you're initiating force and violence on peaceful people who just want to be left alone. And don't give me this, well, we didn't trust the government, but now we trust them because they're enforcing this immigration policy. Either you trust the government or you don't. And if you're saying you trust the government right now, then you're also trusting that they be properly funded, which means that there's going to be theft and extortion by the American people, from the American people toward ICE agents. And you don't mind the standing armies that our founders had a real problem with. Says government officials in Chicago, which classifies itself as a sanctuary city, have repeatedly pushed back against ICE operations, leading to a breakdown of local and federal cooperation. And it's not that these Chicago officials are any good either, but they're just as evil as the ICE agents. What you really need to do is drop all the gun laws and empower the people of Chicago so they can defend themselves from any kind of armed attacker, from any kind of theft, from any kind of robbery, and from any kind of criminality, no matter who it comes from, whether a civilian or a badged tyrant. Says the number one unwritten rule in law enforcement is that we respond to any calls from officers in distress. What would have happened if the local police were facing threats and nearby federal officers were told not to assist? Whether you agree about immigration enforcement or not, when a law enforcement officer is in trouble, nothing should stand in the way of fellow officers rendering assistance. And what they're talking about here is when you see an officer in trouble, when an officer provokes or agitates or initiates violence on somebody else, and that person who's being attacked decides to defend themselves, then you step in and you help the officer who initiated the attack. Remember, government is not eloquence, it is not reason, it is force. And like fire, it's a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Now more than ever, police officers need to band together in order to protect our brothers and sisters who wear the badge. We at the National FOP, as well as our members at the Illinois FOP, condemn these actions and urge Chicago officials to ensure that any law enforcement officer needing assistance is guaranteed that their brothers and sisters in law enforcement respond expeditiously. And I wish I could say that this is a spoof and that it's been photoshopped, but Donald Trump just posted today on his Truth Social to ICE, Border Patrol, law enforcement, and all U.S. military. As per my August 25th, 2025 executive order, please be advised that from this point forward, anybody burning the American flag will be subject to 1 year in prison. You will be immediately arrested. Thank you for your attention to this matter. You will be arrested for exercising your freedom of speech to air your grievance against your government by burning an American flag. Think of the irony of this. You will be thrown into a cage for 1 year for burning a Chinese-made American flag per the President of the United States. If this is all that was wrong with Trump, this is all you need to know, that he is a tyrant. If Obama tried this, if Biden tried this, if Harris got into office and she tried this, you would see it for exactly what it is. But because we got Trump supporters guzzling Kool-Aid and bowing down at the altar of MAGA, satanic MAGA, go figure, and because they suffer from an extreme case of Stockholm syndrome, they can't see this because Mango Mussolini has them mesmerized. On a positive note, but I still don't trust the government, based on the statement just issued by Hamas, Trump says, I believe they are ready for a lasting peace. Israel must immediately stop the bombing of Gaza so that we can get the hostages out safely and quickly. Right now, it's far too dangerous to do that. We are already in discussions on details to be worked out. This is not about Gaza alone. This is about long-sought peace in the Middle East. So this kind of tells me that once they get the hostages out, they can resume the bombing of Gaza. We just don't want to hurt any hostages in the process. Gazan kids, Palestinian kids, that's fine. We'll just justify that by saying, well, we were going after Hamas and this is just collateral damage in war. Now, moving on to Charlie Kirk. There's something interesting that happened on the Charlie Kirk show the other day with a guest appearance by Megyn Kelly and Andrew Colvett. Remember the guy who wrote that post that said that Charlie Kirk's spine, it's like the Man of Steel spine. It stopped a 30-06 and saved a whole bunch of people behind him. Andrew Colvett is going to tell you that Erica Kirk got a call, but watch what happens right when he says she got a call. You can hear somebody's phone. I can't see whose phone it is on the desk right here, but somebody's phone starts buzzing, almost like, hey, you don't want to tell anybody that Erica Kirk got a call. Listen to this.
There's a question about who's going to lead the team going forward and who's going to lead this enormously important organization. And I understand you have some news on that front.
Yeah. Since everything has happened, I think the number one question is what is going to happen with Turning Point, what is going to happen next. And I'm pleased to be able to announce with you, and I think it's appropriate because of who you are and who this person is, that the Turning Point board has unanimously selected Erica Kirk as the new CEO and chair of the board. And not only is that amazing in and of itself, but I can assure you, Megan, that Charlie told me personally, and he told others, he probably told Mikey, that if anything ever happened to him, that this is exactly what he wanted.
Wow. I have the chills. It had to be, right? I mean, there's just, I don't think anybody would accept a leader of the organization who they didn't feel completely understood Charlie and would be 100% dedicated to fulfilling his vision for where this group is going.
Well, and let me just add one more thing, and I want Mikey to chime in here as well. But in the immediate hours afterwards, Erica got a call from somebody very important. I'll leave that vague out of privacy, but she got a call from somebody very important. And the question was,
Did you hear the buzz? So just a couple of seconds after he said she got a call, listen first.
Erica got a call from somebody very...
Okay, so this is at the 15:57 mark. Listen, 15:57.
Erica got a call from somebody very important. I'll leave that vague out of privacy, but she got a call from somebody very important. And the question...
9 seconds later, 9 seconds after he initially said Erica got a call from somebody very important, somebody's phone on the desk starts buzzing, but it doesn't stop buzzing. Listen, that's the first buzz.
Question was, what do you know? Sort of asking how much of what's going on behind the scenes and with the relationship, like, what do you know? And her reply back was, everything. I know everything.
It buzzed 4 times. Let's go back over that. Listen, just listen for the buzz. What do you know? She got a call from somebody very important. What do you know? I know everything.
Erica got a call from somebody very important. I'll leave that vague out of privacy, but she got a call from somebody very important. And the question was, what do you know? Sort of asking how much of what's going on behind the scenes and with the relationship, like, what do you know? And her reply back was, everything. I know everything.
So it was 4 buzzes after Andrew Colvett said Erica got a call from somebody very important. What do you know? I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. I want to end this video with Charlie Kirk's very pertinent question about Israel to Dave Smith during this debate at Turning Point USA between Dave Smith and Josh Hammer. Check this out.
Make the case, because I don't want to have you be able to get past this. You say Israel is not an ally. That is not an opinion that people hear a lot. Why is that?
Look, all I'm saying is Israel has at every turn, and look, again, when I say Israel, I'm talking about the government of Israel. I'm not talking about the people there. And I'm specifically talking about Benjamin Netanyahu and the Likud party, who have been in control for most of this time, for most of my lifetime. Yeah, and right, most of the 21st century. And so when I say they have been constantly pushing America toward more aggressive policies, toward getting in more fights. And just like I always say, if you went out to the bar every single night with your friend, and every night your friend's trying to convince you to get into a fight, and while you're beating a lot of people up, you're also taking a lot of wounds, and you're going to jail, and you're getting in trouble.
And it's costing you a lot of money in court fees.
You gotta stop hanging out with that friend. And so I think that my position, I don't believe in wars of aggression and wars of choice. I don't believe in sanctions. I don't believe in that. We should be friends with Israel. We should trade with Israel and have a good relationship with them. But you know what? I also don't believe in welfare, and they shouldn't get another dime of U.S. taxpayer money, and they should not.
So
hold on. Their lobby should register as a foreign
That's a good
agent,
segue. Finish that.
And they should stop blackmailing our politics.
Got it.
I want to show you this. This was uploaded to the Charlie Kirk channel on July 13th, 2025. Less than 58 days later, Charlie Kirk is dead. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my Disturbing Illusion channel, where we expose the left versus right paradigm lie, and my Here's the Deal channel, which is my police accountability channel. Until next time, guard with jealous attention the public liberty. Suspect anyone who comes near that precious jewel. Nothing will preserve it but downright force, and when you give up that force, you are ruined. I'll see you in the next video.